Hello everyone, in this video, I have collected absolutely all the facts of updates 23.0 and 23.5 in the Melon Playground that I know after watching. Write in the comments how many of these facts you knew. Along with the new trees, a large spruce appeared. It is much larger than a regular spruce, and they also changed the burning animation, which looked like this in version 22.0.5. And then there was a bug. When the fire was extinguished, the burning animation stopped. Now the burning looks like this, which is very beautiful, and the bug has also been removed. Now when the fire is extinguished, the animation also ends and the spruce burns out. Also now, when downloading a new mod from the workshop, we get a new mark on this mod. In the new update, the ability to shoot liquids from syringes from a water gun has been removed. You can shoot, but the liquid from syringes will not act on NPCs as it was before. Also, if you stick a syringe with a virus into an NPC on a regular map, and then revive it with a green syringe, it will fully recover, but if you go to an acid map, stick a syringe with acid into the NPC, then it will turn off the collision. And if you turn it on and revive the melon, then its texture will be restored, but it will remain in the form of a skeleton. If the scooter is dipped a little in acid and immediately taken out, it will spin endlessly. If you make Melon immortal, put him near acid and shoot him at point blank range with a shotgun, then he will endlessly spin in acid. And even if you take it out and then dip it back in, it will continue to spin. If you put the object on the last layer, then when immersed in acid, it will not be visible. Now let's move on to probably the most creepy fact that is connected with the phone. It should appear in the main menu with a 20% probability. And if you go into the settings of your device and change the time to 3 AM, then enter the number 666 in the telephone and call, then after the beeps we will hear it. This is very creepy, especially if you really do it at night, and also why this is the most creepy fact. If you look at the spectrogram of this sound, then we can see a pitchfork, which, like the number 666 itself, is associated with the devil. If you dip the heartbeat monitor in acid and pull it out at the very last moment, then only the display will remain of it, and if you remove the collision, it will be fully operational. To achieve this, we need only 2 codes. We need to get the first one from the tower that appears on the map with water on the right bank behind the hills. When the light is turned off, the tower starts flashing, and only by the lower light bulb. We will understand the code itself. We will get a binary code of 0s and 1s, and translating it into decimal system, we will get the number from the phone. After we dial the number, we will hear a long encrypted sound. After viewing the spectrogram of this sound, which will have numbers on it, and converting these numbers to standard character encoding, we will get a code for the generator. You can find the generator in the workshop, then activating it and entering the code. A scene with a secret laboratory will appear, which we have already seen everything. After that, we will receive a new achievement called Enlightenment. If you dial 811, then after the beeps we will hear this sound. And if you look at the spectrogram of this sound, then we can see the inscription, "No one's around." Most likely, the number is intended to call for help, but when we call, we are informed that no one's around, which is creepy enough. The next fact is related to acid. If you dip a snowman in acid, it will turn black and part of the texture will also disappear, but it will still be able to roll on the floor. The same thing happens with the melon cooler, it also turns black. The following fact is very interesting. When we perform a new achievement and a secret scene with a secret laboratory appears in the game, where we can see melons in flasks, did you know that the stands for these flasks have been in the game for a long time? And they were all this time in the mod editor in the background. There is also a new way to open gifts. Now it is not necessary to break it so that the toy falls out, but simply dip it in acid, the box will dissolve and the toy will remain intact. And also for some reason, toys dissolve in acid for a very long time. If you take a candlestick, put candles in it, and dip it a little in acid, then something strange will start happening to it and it will spin. And also it will not be possible to turn it on so that the candles are constantly glowing. The ropes do not have an animation of dissolving in acid, they simply disappear when the objects they are holding on to dissolve. You all know that in a Molotov cocktail, there is a liquid inside that can flow like this, but if you dip it in acid, nothing will happen to the liquid and it will not leak out. I think it would be very difficult to make it flow out. If you take any weapon that consists of several parts, such as a revolver, dip it in acid and quickly get it out, then the drum will disappear. If you take the thruster and turn it on near the acid, then an animation will appear on the floor as if it touches the acid. If you dip the helmet in acid and get it out, it turns black, and it also works with many other clothes. With the advent of the new acid map, I think everyone already knows that if you dip a working object into acid, such as a gun or a car, and get it out until it completely dissolves, then this object will no longer work. But did you know that if you do the same with a bomb, it will also stop working and will not explode, but if you detonate any other bomb near it, it will also explode. The beam from the motion sensor is transparent and does not exert any physical pressure on objects, but in the new update, for some reason the acid reacts to it as if we immerse something in acid. If you dip any transport in acid and get it back, then you can't put NPCs in it. And when we try to plant the NPC for the second time, its place will be red as if someone is already sitting there. This works with absolutely all vehicles, but I have not been able to check it with the scooter. The heartbeat monitor can be dissolved to a state where we will only have the white stripe itself. It is most convenient to do this in slow motion. And at the same time, it will work. Also, if we increase this band, then the heart will also increase. If you take a fire extinguisher, freeze it, press the toggle button, and throw it into acid, then we can see how very flat bubbles come out of it. And if you increase the fire extinguisher, the bubbles will also increase. In the melon playground, there are things that can recover themselves after dissolving in acid, and at least one of them is a rocket launcher. I don't understand how it works. If it is dissolved half in acid, then run an advertisement. Then after the advertisement, we can see that all rocket launchers are completely recovered. And it is also interesting that, after this, there will be no effective dissolution in acid, and they will simply disappear. Things that can break and which have the unbreakable function, when this function is activated, they still dissolve in acid, and I do not understand whether this is a bug or not. It is perhaps logical that they do not break, but dissolve. But why then they do not collapse under fire, but only turn black? Write in the comments, what do you think about this? The next bug is related to how to create a perpetual motion machine in the melon playground. For this you need to take the thruster, turn it, take the protogen, freeze them, turn on the thruster and press the toggle button at the protogen and turn off the pause. I don't know why, but the bullets just pile up in one place. And even if you remove the proto gun, the bullets will not disappear. And if you remove the thruster, then the bullets will fly, which looks very nice. The next bug is that if you tear off any limb from Melon, put it in acid, then Melon will die even though he did not touch the acid in any way. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel, put likes, and good luck to you.